Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is your weekly astrology for the week of 13th to 19th December 2021. Now, a lot is happening this week, and the first thing I'd like to mention is that as we enter this week, we are still in the new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius energy, which is basically, very simply put, a new karmic energy that is infused with hope and optimism. You can watch my new moon solar eclipse video to know what that energy is exactly. So we are in that energy, and we will be working on this energy this week up until December 18th, Saturday, when we will have the full moon in Gemini. So that's the first thing I wanted to mention. The second thing I want to mention is that Mars will enter Sagittarius this week. We will see a shift. We will also see a shift because Mercury will enter Capricorn this week. And towards the end of the week, we have Venus going retrograde and Chiron coming direct. So there's a lot happening this week, and this is a week where we will feel Saturn and Uranus get closer, which means we will feel the Saturn-Uranus square energy more intensely this week as they build up to their square on December 24th. I will talk about all these things in detail in this video, but I just thought I'd give you the highlights in the beginning. So for this video, I am going to go over the days of the week, and then towards the end of the video, I will pull a card for the week's energy. So let's get started with Monday, December 13th. So as we enter Monday, the moon is still in Aries, and moon in Aries is all about taking action and getting things done, right? So as we enter Monday morning, we have this supercharged energy with the moon in Aries to get things done and take action. That's the first thing. The second thing about Monday is that Venus and Pluto are still conjunct. Venus and Pluto conjuncted on December 11th, right? And they are still conjunct. And this energy is about a transformation to our Venus things, to our relationships, projects, and self-worth. But this transformation is a slow transformation because Venus will be conjunct Pluto all of this week, and then it will begin to retrograde by the end of this week and conjunct Pluto again. So it's a slow transformation, but all of this week, Venus will be conjunct Pluto, meaning that we will be working on the transformation that started with the new moon solar eclipse on December 4th about our relationships, projects, self-worth, values, and skills this week as well, and Monday is no different. Now, as we enter Monday, Saturn has hit 10 degrees and Uranus is at 11 degrees 22 minutes, which means the square that I speak about in almost every video, the Saturn-Uranus square, is really close. It's off by a degree or so, a degree in 22 minutes. So as we enter Monday, we will begin to feel the Saturn-Uranus square intensity quite a bit, and this energy, this intensity is all about transformation in a way. It's about change. It's about letting go of the old ways that don't serve us anymore and embracing the new. It's about getting rid of the idea of who we think we should be and embracing who we truly are, our uniqueness, our unique self. So this week we will be feeling that intensity a bit more. The work that we need to do in this direction will intensify, because the square will come exact on December 24th. And the reason this process of shedding the old, coming into the new feels challenging is because these planets are squaring. So coming into Monday, this intensity will start to dial up. Now, Monday is a day where Mars is going to enter the sign of Sagittarius. Now, Mars has been in the sign of Scorpio since, I believe, October 31st or October 30th, since end of October, let's say. And Mars rules the sign of Scorpio. It feels comfortable there. But Mars in Scorpio is a very intense energy. Mars is the planet that rules our drive. It's about how we take action and how we get things done. It's our initiative. And in Scorpio, it's a lot of intensity when it comes to taking action, getting things done. It's also about transforming how we take actions and get things done, right? But Sagittarius is different. So Mars entering Sagittarius will lighten up how we take action and get things done. In Scorpio, it's an all or nothing approach to getting things done. It's a let's transform this. I want to transform this sort of approach to getting things done. But in Sagittarius, it's more let's try this out. Let's see how this goes. Let's have fun with it. Okay, let's see what happens. That sort of energy in getting things done. So we'll see that shift happen on Monday. And now in Scorpio, there is absolutely no energy in Scorpio right now. In the month of November, there was a lot of Scorpio energy and there was a lot of intensity. There was a lot of transformation. But now that's over. Now it's about Sag. It's about optimism, hope, joy, all these things, right? So we'll see a basic shift on Monday in how we do things, how we take action. And we will see another shift in communication on Monday. Mercury is going to enter the sign of Capricorn on Monday. And this is a good thing because Mercury feels a little uncomfortable in Sagittarius, where it has been all this while up until December 13th. And Mercury in Sagittarius is an energy where, yes, we are more optimistic and fun-loving with our communication and thinking, but at the same time, Mercury is all about the details, the little things, and Sag is all about the big picture. So it feels a little lost in Sagittarius. It's not the best placement for Mercury. So now Mercury has changed signs into Capricorn and it feels better there, which simply means that our thinking and communication will be more serious now. We will approach our routine, our diet, our lifestyle, our immediate environment with the mindset of committing to these things, being serious about these things. So that's another shift we will see in our thinking, communication, and how we approach our routine, diet, health, job, and lifestyle. On the same day, Monday is a lot happening on Monday, so that's why I'm still on Monday, but I'll try to move as fast as I can. So on Monday, we also have the moon in Aries squaring Pluto and Venus in Capricorn, right? So this can bring about a catharsis to our emotions, a change in our emotions. And since it's Pluto and since it's a square 90 degrees, this process of transforming something in our emotions can feel slightly challenging, but it's not negative. Just the process feels challenging, but it's not negative, right? So that's another thing we will see, but we also have the moon sextiling Jupiter, which means there's hope, joy, and optimism on Monday as well when it comes to our emotions. That being said, we also have Mars getting closer to the South Node, right? So Mars is our drive. It's how we take actions, how we get things done. And South Node is a karmic point. It's related to the past. And when any planet comes close to the South Node, a few things can happen. One, it drains the energy out of that planet, right? So we might feel a little drained in our initiative. Although the universe is urging us to take action with the moon in Aries, there's an element of feeling, I don't have the energy for it. I feel slightly drained. That sort of energy is there because Mars is conjuncting the South Node. Another thing that might happen with Mars getting closer and closer to the South Node is that we might revisit the past, right? In some ways, South Node is the past. We might revisit the past in some ways. Maybe to get closure, maybe to close it out completely, or maybe just to make peace with it, right? So that might happen as well. And Mars conjuncts the South Node once in about every 2 years. So it's not a very common thing to go through. So I just thought I'd mention that. And it can also be a karmic release, right? Release of the past 2 years since Mars conjuncted the South Node. So that could be happening as well. And often when we revisit the past, when we confront the past again, or when we release our emotions or go through a cathartic process, we might feel drained, right? Because the process of doing these things is positive, but it's not necessarily easy. So we'll see that on Monday as well. So Monday, there's a lot happening, and I think I'll sum up this energy so that we can put it all together. And I think Monday is a day where we will see a shift in our drive and how we take action from Scorpio, an all or nothing approach, a transformative approach to getting things done, we will transition into a let's try this approach to taking action. We will also see a shift in our thinking and communication to a more serious way of communicating and thinking, and a more serious way in approaching our lifestyle and routine, our immediate environment as well. With the moon in Aries, there will be a lot of drive to take action and get things done. But the moon in Aries can also be a very reactive energy, very impulsive energy, very confrontational energy. So it's best not to channel that energy in confrontations or reacting, but rather in getting things done. At the same time, the fact is that Mars is getting closer and closer to the south node, so we might feel a little drained in our energy in taking action, in getting things done, or we may revisit the past so that we can release it and let go of it. And this Mars south node conjunction is something that happens once in 2 years or so. And the transformation process of changing up our projects, our relationships, as well as our self-worth, values, and skills. Venus will take some time to come about, but this is another week where throughout the week we will be working on this transformation. And with the moon squaring both Venus and Pluto, there might be moments in the day where we will be asked to transform or release something connected to our emotions, and perhaps adjust something in our emotions connected to our relationships, projects, or self-worth. And this process might feel a little challenging. At other moments in the day, with the moon sextiling Jupiter, we will feel bursts of hope, joy, and optimism. So that's Monday in a nutshell. Moving on to Tuesday, the moon will change signs on Tuesday, so we will see a shift in energy. Apart from the shift that I spoke about relating to Mars and Mercury, now it's the moon changing signs. From Aries, it has entered Taurus. Now the moon loves to be in Taurus, it does not really like to be in Aries. And the moon loves Taurus, it is exalted in Taurus, and that's because the moon in Taurus is all about indulging. It's about indulging our senses, it's about indulging in good food, in nature. It's about being secure and stable. And that's why the moon loves to be in Taurus, right? It finds stability there. What is the moon? The moon is our emotions. So in Taurus, it feels like stable. When we feel stable and secure emotionally, we feel good. When we indulge in good food, or we are with nature, or we indulge our senses, we feel good emotionally. So that's why the moon loves to be in Taurus. Now, the moon does not really like to be in Aries as it was on Monday. And that's because the moon in Aries, it's in a Mars-ruled sign. What is Mars? Mars is a soldier. Mars is a warrior. Mars is taking action. And emotions take a backseat when all that is happening. So the moon does not like to be in Aries. But on Tuesday, the moon changes signs into Taurus, where it loves to be. And what this means is that we will be indulging our senses, we will be indulging in good food, we will be indulging in whatever we want. So that's the basic energy for Tuesday. But one thing to be mindful of is that the moon in Taurus will conjunct Uranus and square Saturn. So although we are doing this feel good energy work, we're doing all these things, indulging our senses, being with nature, indulging in a good meal, at the same time, at some points in the day, not throughout the day, at some points in the day, we might feel slightly stressed. We might feel a sudden burst of energy that can make us feel a little frazzled. And that's because the moon conjuncts Uranus and squares Saturn. And at some points in the day, we might be required to take a decision or define our emotions or change up our emotions in some ways. So that element is also there. But the moon in Taurus will also trine Mercury. And what this means is that our heart and our mind are in sync. On Tuesday, Mercury is our mind, the moon is our emotion, so our heart and mind are in sync on Tuesday in many ways. And Venus and Pluto are still conjunct. We are still transforming our self-worth, value, skills, and finances. So Tuesday, I would say there will be a more grounded and stable energy with the moon in Taurus, urging us to indulge. But at moments, we might feel a certain uncertainty, right? A feeling of feeling frazzled might come about, or a feeling of feeling pressure or slightly stressed out or slightly low because of the moon Uranus conjunction which squares Saturn. and a feeling of transforming our Venus things, relationships, projects, self-worth, values, skills still continues. And there are moments in the day where we will really think that our head and our heart are in sync. So that's Tuesday's energy. Moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday is the day, back to Tuesday, sorry. On Tuesday as well, we still have Mars getting closer and closer to the South Node, right? So that energy of revisiting the past, of karmic stuff coming back up for review, or just feeling drained in our energy continues, right? It continues. And moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday is when the Mars South Node conjunction comes exact, which means the Mars South Node conjunction energy is at its peak on Wednesday. And then it'll start to slowly ease off. And what this means is the same thing on Wednesday, the intensity of perhaps revisiting the past, releasing something when it comes to taking action or drive, initiative, or just feeling slightly drained in our energy is magnified because this is the most intense the energy will be on Wednesday. So that's the highlight of Wednesday. The moon will continue to be in Taurus, and we will continue to do Taurian things of indulging in our senses, being more stable and grounded, finding security. That will continue. So that's Wednesday in a nutshell. And moving on to Thursday, December 16th, 2021, the moon does trine Pluto and Venus on Thursday, which means this is a positive energy when it comes to our emotions. Perhaps we transform something, go through an emotional healing or release because the moon is trining Pluto. So we might go through an emotional release or catharsis, and especially so because we went through the Mars South Node conjunction yesterday on Wednesday, right? So Thursday is all about a release process to our emotions that feels easy, comfortable. There's no stress involved. And then on Thursday, the moon will change signs. It will enter the sign of Gemini. Now, this is again a shift in energy, right? Taurus is slow, stable, grounded, about indulging in our emotions, feeling good, right? Gemini is different. Gemini is communication. It's thinking. It's a lot of energy, an energy that wants to do a lot of things all at once. So the moon in Gemini is a very playful energy. It's about communicating. It's about thinking. It's about doing a lot of things at once. That being said, the moon in Gemini can overstimulate us. So it becomes important to take time out to just, calm ourselves down if that overstimulation is getting too much. And I say that the moon in Gemini can be a lot of energy because the North Node is there, right? The North Node is in Gemini, and the moon conjuncts the North Node today on Thursday, magnifying the Gemini energy of communicating, of thinking, of doing a lot of things all at once. So it becomes important to take time out today and go within and not get overstimulated. That being said, the moon will also oppose Mars in Gemini. So this can be a moment where we can feel angry or frustrated because the moon, our emotions, is opposing Mars, the planet of frustration, right? And anger. So that is one manifestation of this energy, but it's not necessary that there is anger and frustration. On the other hand, Mars is beginning to move away from the South Node. So we are recovering from whatever we've been doing for the past 3 days in a way, right? Revisiting the past, releasing the past, going through a catharsis. So that's easing off now. So we might be recovering from that and regaining that drive, that energy again. And the moon in opposition to Mars at this point can help us integrate our emotions with this recovered drive, so to speak. So that is Thursday. Overall, it's a shift in energy. It's a lighter energy, more fun-loving. It's a day where we will recharge our drive, our energy, because Mars is beginning to move apart from the South Node now. And one thing to be mindful of on Thursday is that don't let don't let your emotions get the better of you. Don't get angry or frustrated, or don't indulge in confrontations. So that's Thursday. Moving on to Friday, the moon will continue to be in Gemini, continuing the playful, fun-loving, communicative, intellectual energy on Friday, right? And again, it becomes important to take time out if you are feeling overly stimulated. And the moon on Friday makes two positive aspects. It sextiles Chiron and trines Saturn. So with the sextile to Chiron, we might find some healing today. Chiron is the planet of our wounds, but it's also the planet that heals us. And this is a positive aspect. So we might find some healing today. And with the trine to Saturn, we might define our emotions in some way. We might take a decision today. And this process does not feel challenging. It's happening naturally. We are taking the decision naturally and organically. So Friday is, again, a lighter day, I would say. No stressful aspects on Friday. And all throughout the week, we are still continuing the transformation to our Venus things, projects, self-worth, values, skills, finances. Now, Saturday, a lot is happening again. So let's talk about that. The moon continues to be in Gemini, so that playful vibe still continues, although the moon in Gemini will square Neptune today, which means there might be moments in the day where we feel slightly confused. We might not be able to see things clearly. We might feel a little low. So just be mindful of these things. And the way to navigate Neptune is to channel that Neptunian energy in creativity and spirituality, because those are Neptunian things as well. So that's the second thing. Now, the third thing, that is the most important thing, is that Venus will go retrograde today. Now, depending where you're at in the world, it might be Saturday, December 18th, or Sunday. But Venus will go retrograde, and let's talk about that for a moment. Venus will retrograde in the sign of Capricorn from about 11 degrees to 26 degrees. That's the area it will cover during its retrograde, and it will be in retrograde till January 28th. Now, Venus rules our relationships, projects, self-worth, skills, and finances. So during Venus retrograde, it's not the best time to start something completely new when it comes to relationships or projects or finances, right? Investments, that sort of thing. So that's the first thing about Venus retrograde. Now, the second thing about Venus retrograde is that Venus retrogrades in the same sign every 8 years. So the last time Venus retrograded in Capricorn was December 2013, Jan 2014, around that time period. And now Venus is retrograding in the same space again, which means the themes that came into your life back then might come back up, but it's not going to be the exact same thing because all the other planetary positions are different. But certain themes might come back up for review for you to close out completely or get closure or make your peace with them, right? And look for 11 to 26 degrees of Capricorn in your personal chart. Personally, for your chart, wherever Venus retrogrades, it re-energizes that area. So that area will be re-energized after 8 years. So that's a positive thing that comes about with Venus retrograde. And I think that's pretty much it for Venus retrograde. So we'll see that today. And Venus this time is retrograding in an aspect with Pluto, right? It's conjunct Pluto, which means this Venus retrograde is about transformation. And that's why this whole week is a build-up to Venus retrograde, where we will transform love, relationships, projects, self-worth, values, skills, finances. But this will take time, right? This transformation. It's not one day, it's not 1 week, it's not even 1 month, right? Venus will be retrograde till Jan 28th, and then it will get out of retrograde and cover that area again. So say a month or 2 months maybe, give or take, where we will be doing this transformative work connected to all these things. And another thing is that as Venus goes retrograde, the Saturn-Uranus square is really close. So we will feel the Saturn-Uranus square energy through the Venus retrograde, which means that the transformation we bring to our relationships, projects, self-worth, values, skills, finances, in many ways will help us get closer to our true, unique, authentic self, will help us embrace the new and get rid of the old a little bit more. And that's pretty much it for Venus retrograde. Now, on Saturday, we also have Mercury squaring Chiron, so we might feel slightly wounded in our mind. Mercury is our mind, Chiron is the planet of our pain. It's also the planet that heals us. So we might mentally come face to face with our pain on Saturday. But the goal again is to overcome that pain, review it so that we can heal. So that's something that will happen on Saturday as well. And on Saturday, we have a full moon in Gemini at 27 degrees. Now, a full moon, generally speaking, brings about culminations, completions, and a full moon is also a point of emotional release. So we'll be doing all these things. And in Gemini, the general themes that will come for culmination, completion, and release will be related to Gemini: communication, thinking, social media, our mind, immediate environment, all these things. So these are the basic themes, but look for 27 degrees of Gemini in your chart, whichever house it falls in. That's where you will be doing this work of completing something, culminating something, or releasing something. Of course, I will break down the full moon in Gemini energy in my full moon in Gemini video, so you can watch that for more details. But one aspect that this moon is making is a trine with Jupiter. It's an almost exact trine. I believe Jupiter is at 28 degrees and this moon is happening at 27 degrees. Jupiter is positive, it's gifts, it's blessings, it's rewards. So that's one positive aspect this is making, although I'm not going to mention the exact energy in this video. It is likely that this is a positive full moon. So that is Saturday. And Saturday, to sum it up, is again we'll see a shift. We'll see Venus go retrograde, so we'll see a shift take place there. We'll also see a full moon, so we'll see another energy complete itself on Saturday. And the moon in Gemini will square Neptune, right? So we might feel slightly confused at moments in the day, slightly low at moments in the day, and Mercury will square Chiron. So we might feel our wounds and our pain at some points in the day, but the goal always is to heal from that, right? Heal from the review process. So that is Saturday. Now moving on to Sunday. Sunday, the moon will change signs. It will enter the sign of Cancer. The moon rules Cancer, so it loves to be there. Now, the moon in Cancer is all about going within. It's about nourishing ourselves, taking care of ourselves, right? That's what the moon in Cancer is all about. So we will be doing that. That's the energy for Sunday. Maybe nourishing ourselves a little bit more, taking care of ourselves, going deep into our emotions. And we also have Chiron going direct on Sunday. Now, Chiron is the planet of our pain. It's the planet of healing as well. And when Chiron is retrograde, it's more of a review of all the work we've done when it comes to healing and recovering in many ways, right? It's a review of that. It's also in a way where we solidify all the work we did when Chiron was direct. And now Chiron is ready to go direct again, which means the active process on working on our wounds so that we can heal begins again. And if you want to know where Chiron is depending on your rising sign, you can watch my December video. I do mention it there. So that's Sunday, and that's the end of the week. So before we close it out, before I pick the card for this week, I just want to mention a few things. That this week Saturn and Uranus are really close in their square. So the whole week we'll have this underlying intensity of change, of embracing the new, getting rid of the old, and more so because we are in the new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius energy, which is about new karmic energy that is hopeful. So we'll be feeling this intensity. We'll be doing a lot of that Saturn-Uranus square work of embracing the new and getting rid of the old and embracing our unique self. Now, next week we have a few things happening. We have Mercury trining Uranus. We have the Sun changing signs. The Sun will enter Capricorn. We also have the Saturn-Uranus square coming exact on December 24th. Venus will conjunct Pluto again, and Jupiter will enter Pisces. So a lot happening next week as well, and I just thought I'd give you a heads up. So that's the week in a nutshell, and now I will pick a card for this week and then we'll wrap it up. Blessed. It says blessed. I think we got this last week as well. I think what we need to keep in mind is that we are blessed, right? We are blessed. And if we forget that during the week, we must remember this, that blessings are there. We are all blessed. No matter how difficult things may seem, we always have one thing that we can be grateful for, one thing that we are blessed with. So we must count our blessings, and we must count what we have and not focus on what we don't have, right? That's where suffering and pain comes from, when we focus on what we've lost or what we don't have. So this week we need to focus on the fact that we are blessed. Let's go with one more. All that glitters. This is all about removing your mask. You see how this card has a mask? I don't know if you can see it, but this card has a mask. And it says all that glitters. So this is about, really taking off that mask and embracing your uniqueness. Removing that facade, that idea of who you think you should be, being who you actually are, right? So this is about that. Let's go with this deck. Or let's go with this deck, actually. It says leadership. And I think maybe this week it's about really stepping into our own, right? It's about being the leader that we want to be in our own lives, right? It's not necessary that leadership applies to if you're running an organization or if you're in a high, post in your job or something like that. It could just be how you lead your life, right? So this card is saying, maybe take charge of your life. Let's go with one more. Too many cards. Let's do that again. Gateway. We've never got this card before. And I think this new moon solar eclipse in Sag is actually a gateway into the new, right? It's a positive one. It's a positive energy we're in right now. So use it. It's a gateway. As we release the old, as we get rid of the old, as we embrace the new, as we step into this new energy of the new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius, all these are gateways, right? So that's probably the energy of this week. Pick one more card. I'll pick a lesson card and then maybe we'll close it out. Okay. Happiness. I am aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. And last week also, was it last week or was it for the new moon solar eclipse that we got cards saying that there's a lot of happiness and joy? And this week again, we've got similar cards of happiness. I'm aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. So maybe assess the right path with what makes you happy and what doesn't. Don't be afraid to let go of something that's been with you for a while, but that doesn't serve you any longer, right? So I think that's what this card means. That's the lesson for this week. And last card for this week, and then we'll close it out. Enlightenment. Let Goddess light fill you. I think this enlightenment is usually something ruled by Uranus, right? Uranus is all about raising our vibration and consciousness and sudden bursts of insights and enlightenment. And Uranus is getting closer and closer. I mean, Saturn is getting closer and closer to Uranus. Both are getting closer to each other, actually. So maybe maybe during the week, we might have some epiphanies, some realizations that enlighten us about who we are or something else in our life, because the energy is about transformation. It's about new things coming in. It's about happiness and joy. So I think maybe at some points in the week we might have these epiphanies, these moments of enlightenment that can show us the way. So I think I'll close it out with this, and let's just take a look at the cards once more. It's a gateway. We're in a transition week. Not a week, but December is all about transition, right? It's a gateway, especially with the new moon solar eclipse on December 4th. We stepped into it. So it's a gateway that we're in, that we will work on for quite some time. And it's about taking charge of your life, leadership. And we might get help along the way with sudden epiphanies and insights. And we must remove that mask of the old, that mask of the idea of who we think we should be, and just be who we really are, right? And I think this card, Enlightenment, will help us with that. This is Uranus. This card is Uranus, right? And this is also Uranus. Uranus is your unique self. It does not wear masks. It does not care what anyone thinks of it. It's just what it is, right? So this energy is there this week with us, and at the same time there is happiness, right? And maybe we want to assess whether we are on the right path, whether we are making the right choices by focusing on how we feel. Is this making you happy? Is this in alignment with your truth, in alignment with your unique self? Because if it is, it will make you happy, right? Maybe we want to approach how we take decisions with this in mind. Does this make me happy? Does this satisfy my inner soul? And I'm not talking about the momentary happiness, right? Because we all go through that moments of happiness, and then we get angry or we get frustrated and then we become happy again. No, I'm talking about inner peace. More than happiness, I would say use this as inner peace. Am I at peace when I do this? Is this thing putting me at peace? Is this in alignment with my right path? And always remember, you're blessed. So I think that's the week, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in my next video now. Bye.